In today's video, Wet n Wild unveils their brand new palette, and James Charles has a lot to say. That story coming up right now. Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. I hope you're having a fantastic day today. If you're a return subscriber, thank you for coming back and showing some support. If you're new here and you enjoy these types of videos, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, click on that notification bell and select it to all. That way you'll be notified when I upload my next video. Before we get started, and as always, I do need to remind you guys that I am a drama commentary channel. I have opinions and I speak them freely. Opinions are not facts, they never have been facts, and they never will be facts. And now that I've gotten that out of the way, let's dive in. Earlier today, Wet n Wild tweeted the following. First look at our new 40 palette, available exclusively at RuPaul's DragCon New York. Coming to wetnwildbeauty.com fall of 2019. Hashtag wetnwildbeauty, hashtag wetnwild40 palette, hashtag dragcon, hashtag dragconnyc. It was only a mere 2 hours later before it caught the attention of Sister James. He tweeted Wet n Wild saying, "That's crazy, your new palette looks extremely similar. There are only so many colors you can put in an eyeshadow palette, and I'm not claiming to own specific colors, but when you copy the exact shades and layout from my palette without even trying to hide it, clown emoji." If you take a look at the two palettes side by side, you can clearly see that the Wet n Wild 40 palette set to release in the fall of 2019 is very similar to the James Charles Morphe Artistry palette that released on November 13th of last year. Are the palettes exactly the same? No. The Wet n Wild palette has 40 shades, whereas James' Artistry palette only has 39. The Wet n Wild 40 palette pans are also clearly smaller than the pans in James's palette. However, is it a dupe? Heck yes! The color story is extremely similar, and you can't deny that the color placement is darn near spot on to James's palette. Even Wet n Wild doesn't deny that they are very close. When someone questioned them about copying James's Artistry palette on Twitter, they said, "We certainly didn't copy the price." Well, I guess kudos for them for at least not denying it. Fans of James Charles were unpleased with Wet n Wild's decision to copy his palette, and they made sure to let them know just how shady it was. Someone tweeted, "You all should be ashamed of yourselves. That's the tea." Someone else said, "I'm not a James nor Morphe fanatic. I honestly don't care about either of them, but this is really disrespectful. They copied the colors, the color layout, and the packaging almost exactly, and then shaded the original creator. Most rainbow palettes don't look exactly the same." And then finally someone else said, "I can't wait for James to get richer after he sues you for $10 million and you'll be canceled. Love that for James." While some were angry, others found it amusing. Kevin James Bennett tweeted, "Ha! Wet n Wild Beauty debuted their knockoff at Morphe brushes at James Charles Artistry palette at RuPaul's DragCon. Karma, you work in such interesting ways. Why do I get a feeling the quality will be better? Hashtag Wet n Wild Beauty, hashtag DragConNYC." And then Zadie Doll, or Zadie Doll, I'm not sure how she pronounces it, she tweeted, "LMAO. The funny thing about James's fanatics is they think Morphe and James created something unique. It was from a company I don't know how to pronounce, who makes for others. Laugh out loud. Those of us who have been in the industry longer than James has been alive remembers 88/120 palettes." And then there are those that don't mind that it is a dupe. Someone said, "I'm honestly fine with them copying it as long as they are admitting it's a dupe. Competition is competition, and honestly, if Bad Barbie can do it with literally her whole brand, then why can't other companies? I really don't see the problem here." Someone else said, "Their layout is completely different from yours. Theirs has all small pans, and yours has a middle row of large pans. Please try not to break your arm with all this reaching." Someone tweeted, "Makeup Revolution made their name by doing this kind of crap. It's not cool, but it's not illegal either." Others even decided to come after James, calling him a hypocrite because James Charles is pretty well known for blatantly copying smaller beauty influencers in the beauty community with very little or no credit at all. Someone tweeted, "I don't understand how you're complaining. You took your palette layout from the Morphe 35B palette or whatever, and you say recreating, and I say that loosely, looks from smaller artists and try to pass them as your own. But please continue with your TED Talk." Someone else said, "Check my list, and yep, you're the last person that should be complaining about copying." And then finally someone else tweeted, "Now James knows how the small creators feel when he rips them off with no credit." It's not unusual for makeup brands to create cheaper dupes of higher-end products. Makeup Revolution is very well known for doing this. Makeup Revolution has created dupes for Kat Von D, Charlotte Tilbury, Too Faced, Laura Mercier, the list goes on. Other brands creating similar products to higher-end brands may very well be shady, but it isn't illegal. So the people saying that James Charles needs to sue them is pretty ridiculous. Not only because it isn't illegal, but also because it's a Morphe palette, so Morphe would be the one to have to sue, not him. Heck, even Morphe was called into question when their Vault Collection collaboration with Jaclyn Hill seemed to resemble her prior collaboration with Becca Cosmetics. Personally, I think it's humorous that James is calling out Wet n Wild for copying when he's known for doing the same thing over and over again. Makeup looks, the national anthem rendition he took from the Rupee Sisters recently. As far as brands making dupes of higher-end brands, I have mixed feelings about it. One, I think it's ridiculous that brands such as Makeup Revolution can't come up with unique ideas of their own. Does it give the company pleasure in knowing that they'll never be known for being original? It's pretty crappy that people such as Kat Von D and Too Faced work so hard on making products that stand out, only to have some other company steal their idea right from under them and potentially cause them to lose money. But, on the other hand, I understand why they do it. There are a lot of customers that would love to have the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette or even the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, but they just can't afford it. Not everyone can shell out $45 for an eyeshadow palette when they have bills to pay and kids to feed. So, these companies are in fact helping those that can't afford the high price tag by giving them a cheaper alternative. And really, is it honestly such a bad thing to help them out? I mean, clearly there is a market for it, or people wouldn't be buying the cheaper alternatives when they could just get the higher end brand. If the companies weren't making money off of duping other people's products, they wouldn't be doing it. In the end, I really don't care that Wet n Wild duped James Charles' palette, and I hope he lets it go and moves on from it. It happens to everybody. Every major company goes through it. It's really not the end of the world. Nothing to cry about. There's more important things going on in the world than this. So what do you guys think? Do you think that it's a big deal? Do you think Wet n Wild was pretty shady to be copying James Charles' palette? Are any of you going to purchase the Wet n Wild palette? If so, let me know down in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Alright everybody, that's going to do it for today's video. I would like to thank you again for spending some time with me today. Remember, if you are new here, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Everyone give this video a big thumbs up and share it with all your friends. I look forward to seeing you guys very shortly on the next one. Bye!